Chris Talk.
Hello everybody, this is Claire and Chris Talk Eurovision. I'm Chris.
And I'm Claire. Hi.
This Saturday, the 22nd of May 2021, it is the most wonderful, the most fabulous Eurovision Song Contest live from Rotterdam in Holland, the Netherlands. After this last year, it didn't happen, did it, Eurovision 2020?
No, we really missed it.
It was a shit year anyway. It's even shitter with no Eurovision.
No.
But it's going to make up for this year because we've been waiting 2 whole years. It's going to make up for it. It's going to be the most wonderful show. I really think it is.
It's going to be fabulous.
Yeah. And during this show, we're absolutely delighted and honoured to be joined by absolute Eurovision, UK Eurovision royalty.
Oh, yeah.
Daz Sampson and David Ducasse from Scooch. How exciting is that?
Just a bit.
Let's get the ball rolling. Here's some Eurovision facts for you. The first Eurovision Song Contest was held in Lugano in Switzerland in 1956, and it was actually won by the host nation with the song Refrain by Lisa Assia.
Ireland have recorded the most wins 7 times.
The UK have won 5 times in all. Sandy Shaw, Lulu, Brotherhood of Man, Bucks Fizz and Katrina and the Waves were victorious.
In 1969, 4 countries were joint winners. France, the Netherlands, Spain and the UK finished on equal points, and with no tie-break rule back then, all 4 countries were declared winners.
Black Lace, Belle and the Devotion, Sonia, Electro Velvet, Ryder, Love City Groove, Precious, Jade Ewan, Jessica Garlic. Who are these people? These people our entrants for the UK at the Eurovision Song Contest over the years.
Don't forget about Sam Janus.
Janus. Potato Patata.
Primark.
Anus.
Scone or scone?
It's scone. You're a scone.
I'm a scone person.
Scone.
And I'm a Primark.
Now, anybody who's listening who thinks it's scone, you're wrong and piss off.
That's a bit odd.
It's scone. It's bloody scone.
Scone's a bit, scone.
No. But people who say scone think that the posh version is scone. But I think scone. All right, my love. Fancy a scone, dear? I think it's more common. I think it's more down to earth. It appeals to the people.
Apart from, would you like a scone?
What's that meant to be the Queen?
Don't know.
Now, we absolutely love Eurovision, don't we, Claire?
Oh, we do. It's a very important occasion in the Monument household.
On the calendar, it's marked off every year, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Well, when we finally know the date, anyway, because it's not the same date every year.
Yes.
But we like to have an evening, don't we?
In fact, actually, I'm going to correct you there. We have a Eurovision weekend.
Weekend, okay. Let's not just confine it to one evening. It's still a whole weekend's what we do.
We do, because on the Friday night, we have our special Eurovision playlist.
Yeah. Of course, during the Saturday, we're watching the event itself. So the day before, we have on Spotify our own Eurovision playlist with Eurovision hits, all over the world, anything from ABBA, Waterloo.
All our favourites.
So it's not just the UK entries, it's all our Eurovision favourites. Now, ABBA, Waterloo is one of my most favourite tracks, and the memories of that. Now, it's a bit before my time, that was.
Oh, okay.
But, I'm not that old. Contrary to rumours, I'm not that old.
Rumours started mostly by me, but it's fine.
I have been lying about my age for a while, but I'm not knocking on 50.
Well, I'll shave a year or two off, so don't worry about it.
I like to think I could still get away with 30. When I was in the supermarket the other day, last week, she gave me I went to the self-service, and obviously, if you're Morrison's, if you're Tesco, if you're Sainsbury's, wherever you go, you've got the self-checkouts. And when you buy alcohol, which we do occasionally, just occasionally,
occasional treat.
A couple of sherries at Christmas.
Yeah.
Now, I buying some alcohol. And they have to come over to approve it. The checkout staff or whatever you call them, one of the members of staff.
Yeah.
And
over 25.
The challenge 25 rule. Even though you don't have to be 18, I think it's 18 now. So many years. I don't know if that's the. I think you have to be 18 to drink. 18. Yeah. So it's challenge 25. If you look below 20, 25 or below, they challenge it. Now this lady, wonderful lady, I really love her because she glanced at me, looked at me. I know I had my mask on, but she looked at me, and I was so proud. And I said, thank you for looking. I'm going to give my age away here. I am 44.
Oh, okay.
And, that's great. I've got a few grey hairs.
That just proves my point. Your beard is what makes you look older. Because obviously with a mask, you can't see your beard. So without the beard, you look under 25 or 25 and about.
Well, with a mask, I look about...
But without a mask...
I look a bit like Conchita Wurst when I've got my mask on. It's black.
Yeah.
It's black. It's
all black.
Jet black.
Yeah. Exactly. Anyway, we're going off.
I'm going off on a tangent again. So our evening that we have the playlist.
No, weekend, dear. Weekend.
Yeah, okay. The weekend. Sorry. Okay, I'm getting this wrong again, am I? Yeah. So we have our playlist. What else do we do, Claire?
Well, once the Saturday comes around, then I get my special Union Jack bunting out.
Ooh.
Now, this bunting is, it's about 3 metres, I think. It's quite long.
Oh, it's longer than me.
It is.
It's not rude.
But This is reserved for very special occasions, and only 3 occasions does this bunting actually come out.
Come on then. Tell everyone.
Well, obviously, the first one is Eurovision. Of course.
Of course, main one. It's the primary event.
It goes all round the room, and you have to put it at a certain height so it doesn't decapitate anyone.
Yeah, but being a big bloke myself,
exactly.
6'5". I used to be 6'5", but I'm shrinking in age.
Yeah, that's because he's getting old.
I don't measure myself on a regular basis. No. Well, not that anyway. But moving on.
Yeah, you're going off again.
Yeah. I have to duck and dive.
Yeah.
I'm the kind of bloke who hits my head off doors, not deliberately, but have to duck through them and not be decapitated by bunting. Yes. Carry on.
Right, shut up. Right. Second occasion, the Olympics.
The Olympics.
Of course. We love the Olympics.
We love athletics. We love the whole event of the Olympics as well.
And then the third one is Wimbledon.
Ah, Wimbledon.
Now, obviously, in recent years, it's only really come out for Andy Murray.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I said it, we're going to cry. Oh, no.
You love that impression, don't you?
Do I have to explain it? Because it might
You're quite proud of it.
And just to translate, that is my rather embarrassing Andy Murray impression when he won Wimbledon. I think for the first time, wasn't it? When he was interviewed and I said, we're going to cry.
Yeah. But it does.
Sounds like Louis Walsh.
I'm not quite sure that the bunting's probably going to be coming out much for Wimbledon, maybe over the next few years. But you never know. So yes, we have the bunting, and then what we do is we put Eurovision on in the kitchen and we cook.
We do. Well, now at this point, we've got 3 kids. We've got teenage boys, and a little girl who's 5, and. Without I should sound harsh, they're all a pain in the bloody arse at the moment.
Oh, yes.
It's challenging times for us.
Just a bit.
But it's our own fault. They're our kids. And but sometimes you just need a bit of peace. You need a bit of a break on a night. You hope it's going to be quiet. We kind of lock ourselves in the kitchen.
It's our sanctuary.
It is our kitchen, our sanctuary. It's where we listen to most of our music and where we cook. That's our thing. And we like to combine it.
Yeah.
With the Eurovision, with the type of food we do for Eurovision as well,
of course.
Which is a Euro theme.
Oh yes, but obviously we do have our favourite type of cuisine. And recent years we've been cooking Czech, haven't we?
Czech food. So we're talking goulash, we're talking
Czech
dumplings,
goulash.
We're talking boiled potatoes, we're talking Frankfurt, bratwurst, not Frankfurt, bratwurst, nice crunchy sausage, sauerkraut, and we loved. We went to Prague for our honeymoon, where our love affair started. But we think that's what gives us the idea for it. That's what reminds us of Eurovision. We tend to do it every year.
Yeah.
Bit of Czech.
But then you look forward to the main bit of the evening, the voting.
The nitty-gritty.
The voting.
Oh.
It's very exciting, the voting.
It is. It's like the general election.
And I do like it when they pop up from the different countries.
What? Who pops up?
Well, they pop up, don't they, from the different countries?
What, you mean
the people? Because you have like a little segments, don't you? And you'll have somebody representing that particular country's vote and to say, right, this country is given so many points to so-and-so. And some really embrace it. They dress up and they go all out, don't they?
Yeah, and of course you've got Graham Norton. Obviously, back in the day, it was Wogs.
Of course, we've not mentioned...
Terry Wogan.
Yes.
God rest his soul. What a wonderful man Terry was.
Legend.
He's an absolute legend. And his commentary was, legendary.
Yes.
But, in fairness to Graham Norton, he's took over the mantle and he has been brilliant.
I don't think anyone else could have replaced
there's only one person who could have done it, and it's Graham Norton.
Yes.
And if Graham Norton ever gives it up, then I fear.
Yes, I may.
I don't know what's going to happen.
But but obviously, yes, of course, he adds to it as well.
Yeah.
But just that vote, it's just brilliant. And they cut to the green room.
Yes.
And you get to see all the reactions, and you got flags waving, and loads of people that have obviously had a few too many, and it's just great fun.
But you've got obviously so many countries now. We have it's been exclusive to European countries for many years, but they have brought in to kind of get a wider range of audience Australia over the last few years, which I'm not. It's a bit weird.
But it's not right, is it?
Yeah, it's Eurovision. It's not Antipodean vision.
I can understand why they've done it, but for me, it's not right.
Now, we've had people of not from the UK who've represented the UK, haven't we?
Yes.
We have. Now, if I'm being honest, from the UK, we've got so much talent.
Yeah.
And songwriters, performers. I believe that we should represent that a UK entry should be for someone from the UK. That's not me being like xenophobic or anything like that, but we've got so much talent. We've got so many people who want to do it.
Yeah.
And it doesn't need to be that way. We've had a few in the past, like I say, Australian, stuff like that. But for me, UK entrance, UK written.
Okay.
That's what it's all about. So a regular feature of our podcast. It's an exclusive now.
Yeah.
Exciting, isn't it?
Well, yeah, I think so.
We are going to speak to a robot.
Wow, robot.
A robot. Not literally a robot. It's not there. It's not something like Terminator 3.
No,
it's not going to attack us, start shooting us, and they're taking over the world.
No, it's a she, and she's very tiny.
She's very tiny, minute, in fact,
and very friendly, but can be a little bit annoying.
Can be a bit bitchy.
She can.
A bit hormonal.
Oh, yes, definitely.
That's women for you that can be very hormonal.
Of course. We have the right
I can say this because you're a woman and, yes, you can be hormonal as well.
Oh, yeah. Get on with it, Monument.
Okay. I'll get to the point. I won't beat around the bush anymore. It's time for Let's Ask Alexa.
Let's ask Alexa. Hello.
Yes, that's right. This is a new feature. Well, it's going to be a very recurrent feature throughout our podcast, Ask Alexa. Now, we have to be very careful saying the words Alexa, because if you don't put a block on her, the Amazon Alexa, she responds to everything. She can't say a name. So we've decided to give her a different name, like when we're talking about her, and I've decided Rita. I don't know why. It was the first time it came to my head, Rita.
Yeah, I don't like Rita myself.
There's not been that many Ritas. Let's think of Ritas, famous Ritas. I can think of Rita Fairclough from Coronation Street. Rita Fairclough. Lovely Rita by the Beatles. Lovely Rita, meet a maid.
That's not a real person, though, is it?
Well, it was based on a real woman. Based on, and her real name was Rita. And, of course, we've got Rita Simons, Ronnie from EastEnders. Ronnie. Roxy. Ronnie. She's not Janus. Janice, Scone. But she's not a Janus or a Janice anymore. She's a Womack. She got married, didn't she? She's a Womack. Do you remember Womack and Womack in the 80s? Teardrops in my eyes.
Shut up. Alexa, who is Daz Sampson?
According to Wikipedia, Darren Daz Sampson is a British professional football manager / scout, music producer and broadcaster. Sampson is known for his commercial dance music as part of several groups and his television appearances. He has had 14 top 30 UK singles. In 2006, he represented the UK in the Eurovision Song Contest with Teenage Life, a top 10 hit.
Well, thank you very much, Alexa. That was very interesting.
She's very informative.
She speaks and she deals only in fact.
She does.
Well, or should we call her Rita? Keep our voices down.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, because she'll go off. She'll go off again. Be quiet.
We don't want to settle the peoples. Alexa's off ease.
I think it might be too late for that. People have it's all gone AWOL in some people's houses with their Alexas. Anyway, we are joined now by the man himself, Daz Sampson. Hi, Daz. How did it come to be that you represented the UK in Eurovision?
But by pure accident, mate, actually. I've always been a massive Eurovision fan, obviously, from the days of Bucks Fizz. I'm old enough to remember that. And it was always almost like a family instant. It's a bit like the FA Cup final every year. Everyone gathered around a television and watched the Eurovision. Obviously, it's not quite like that now because of modern technology and social media and whatever. I was riding high in the charts with the United Nations at the time with our song "You're Out of Touch," and it was in the charts all over the world at the time.
Of
And
course,
Richard Parks, who was almost like the BBC Simon Cowell, if you like. I don't know if you remember Fame Academy and all that shows.
Yes, remember him, yeah.
He contacted our label to say, would United Nations be interested in submitting a song? Now, I'd submitted, not a lot of people know that, and the song is actually on YouTube somewhere. In 1992, not 92, sorry, in 2002, I submitted a song called Land of the Rising Sun to the BBC, and it just shows how bent and corrupt it is, because it never even got past the first base. Yeah, I licensed that record to several computer games, and, you know, the car that I'm looking at on the driveway was paid for because of that. So it must have been a good song. It's probably not, but anyway. So my point being is that, you know, I said all through the 90s that I wanted to do Eurovision, but obviously there's a lot of record company politics that go on that they don't really want you to do it because it kills you. It definitely kills you. And the facts are there. You know, there's nobody, no artist has gone on to have a top 40 hit record in the last 20 years since doing Eurovision. That's a fact. That is a fact. Now I have, but I've had to do it under a pseudonym. We'll come to that in a bit.
Okay.
So basically, how we got into it. And so I'd written a song called Teenage Life 2 years before for Blazing Squad. Do you remember Blazing Squad?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Kenzie.
Kenzie. So they'd come into the studio and recorded it. And then obviously things moved so fast in the record business. They started to go on the wine and they started to split up and the record company were dropping them. So I just put it on the shelf. Anyway, so when my manager called me and said, Eurovision have been on, the BBC have been on, but I won't say his name, but the guy at my record company said he doesn't want you doing it as United Nations. Well, that's red rag to a bull for someone like me, because you ain't telling me what I'm going to do. So I said, no. So tell him what, even if I couldn't be in it as a performer, I don't mind being in it as a writer. I said, send that Teenage Life. You know, that's, you know, because obviously I'm a big fan of Love City Groove. I thought they were pioneers, you know what I mean? An amazing song.
Yeah.
So Joe, my manager, sent it to Richard Parks, but he didn't send the Blazing Squad version. He sent the original demo, which is actually me on it. When I'd written it, it was obviously me on it. And they'd come back about a few hours later saying, we definitely want this. And I said, oh, get on to Albert, who was Blazing Squad's agent at the time. And Joe went, no. I sent him your version. I knew how much you desperately wanted to do it, so I took a chance. And they accepted you. And 3 weeks later, I'm at the press conference with Mr. Costa, bless him, and Kim Marsh and the rest of them. You could see the animosity there as I said his name. But we'll get into that. We'll get into that and all later on.
Please do.
And so that basically, and I knew that I was going to win the public vote because I'd been a mobile DJ for so long, and I grew up, you know, in the council estate I grew up on, and I just know how the British public vote. I just know, and I knew that they would go for someone like me because, you know, there's not been a contestant like me. You know, my favourite colour is blue and aren't daffodils fabulous? It's what the BBC want. That's what they want. But with me, you know, you're going to get Buster Bloodvessel from Bad Manners or Liam Gallagher doing Cheese. That's what you're going to get. And that's exactly what happened. Really, right place at the right time. If Richard Parks had not got in contact with the record company, I probably would never have done it.
Where did you actually get the inspiration to write that song from in the first place?
Okay, now I'm a songwriter and I've written a load of songs and I've had hits with people with songs that you will know about, but I can't tell you about because I've signed non-disclosure agreements.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yes, well, that's because of Eurovision. We'll come to that in a bit as well. Loads of juicy gossip of how it really works. Oh. So basically, how it is I don't write the songs, and this is going to sound a bit weird. They just come. I didn't sit down there and go, right, I'm going to write this song. It just come. And I'll tell you what, I was driving past my old school, which, you know, they say school's the best days of your life. Well, kids listening to this, They fucking are. Make the most of it.
You're right, you are.
Make the most of it. I'm telling you, it's all downhill from there. And
Yeah.
I was driving past my old school and it was all derelict because they were knocking it down. And I remember my old classroom where I had Mr. Tomini, which is the famous Mr. T in the song, and getting told off Mr. T how my life would be.
Okay.
And I looked at the classroom and all the memories of the 5 or 6 years that I spent there just come flooding back. And by the time I'd got 100 yards down the road, what did you learn at school today? It just came bang. And by the time I'd got 500 yards up the road, the full chorus was there. And when I write a song, the chorus has to come first. If you ain't got a chorus, you've got jack shit. So the chorus was there literally within 3 minutes. And then I remember the next day ringing up Rick, the guy who's credited as a co-writer, wrote my arse. And I said, what do you think of this? And his words, that's fucking shit. And obviously a top 10 hit later, he was wrong. But there you go. So that's how it came about, just driving past my old school. And I knew I had something special. And at the time, about 6 months later, we had Blazing Squad in. So I actually wrote that about 4 years before Eurovision. You know, that chorus was written about 4 years. And originally when we did it as like a scooter thing, a big rave record.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's the original demo. And then I changed it for Blazing Squad. And before I sent it to Blazing Squad slowed down, I redid it in a rap to show Blazing Squad what I was trying to do. So that's the one that actually got because the rave one. And if you watch the documentary, the first documentary that I did with the BBC, we play a tiny little bit of the rave version in it. If you watch about 30 seconds of it. But anyway,
this all kind of like transpired that you're on the Making Your Mind Up on BBC, the kind of qualifying show, wasn't it?
Yes, that's correct.
So how did that come back? Was it through Richard Parks? Was it?
Yeah. So like I say, so we got the nod of Richard Parks like 3 weeks after submitting the song. I was at the press conference, and then like 2 weeks after that was the show. And I knew, and it's not me. You know, people go, "You egotistical, arrogant bastard." No, it's not. I know the British public, and we're the only country in the world where a non-celebrity can win Celebrity Big Brother. That's how we think in this country. We always back the underdog. We always do. And I just knew that my song was completely different than I'm in love with everybody, la la la, fuck off. You know, I just knew that it was different, and I knew that it would. All I had to do, and here's the thing: the BBC wanted me to use their dance troupe, which were all like 28-year-old girls. And it just wouldn't work. And Matt Connolly, who was my agent at the time, he was also Anton Deck's agent at the time. He said, roll kids in, Daz, and you'll win it. Now, we couldn't roll actual kids in because of the age restriction. So all those girls were 18 and 19, but we dressed them to look a tiny bit young. And I know I get a lot of stick for it, but trust me, it was completely innocent. And they were all actually technically adults anyway. Yeah. And we just nailed it. I mean, we blew them. I mean, you know, we the votes. I mean, we blew it out of the water. You know, so it was a great time. That obviously you make a lot of mistakes because you get people around you and you know badly advising me and you know like Matt said to me, you need to create this character where 50% of the people are going to hate you, but if the 50% that like you, which is why I became that very outspoken. I mean, that's technical. I'm a very shy person and very shy.
Of course,
no, but I am. But
really?
I'm in showbiz mode now. So if you would have been in my front room 5 minutes ago, you'd go, "That's not the guy I'm talking to on the phone now," because you just get trained, or your mind just flicks into showbiz. And you guys, you want a soundbite. You don't want me going, "Well, I'm not very good. You know, COVID's so fucking depressing." You want a soundbite. You want a soundbite. You want so 50% of the people who are listening to this when it goes out will go, "He is a fucking wanker." And the other 50% will go, "Do you know what? At least he's outspoken. At least he's charismatic. At least he puts himself out there. I put myself on offer for the criticism," which is why I'm one of the few contestants now that still get fucking hammered. All I did was write a song.
So, on Making Your Mind Up, you're up against Anthony Costa. Tell us about this animosity between you and Anthony Costa.
It wasn't from, listen, I'm a working class guy from a council estate in Stockport, right? I've got no airs and graces, even though I've been very successful. And I was successful in the field of local business before I even had any hits. I'll let you work out what that actually technically means. So I knew straight away. The thing is, what I don't like is, see now we're all talking. I may have sold 4.5 million records and had 14 top 20 records, but I am no different than what you are. I still bleed. I still got feelings. I still hurt. I'm still going to die. And I hate these minor celebrities, you know, who actually think. I mean, he was walking around like he was David Bowie, and that straight away got my fucking back up instantly. Yeah. Because I said to a lot of people at the time, why didn't he do it at the height of Blue?
But I don't think he's particularly popular, is he? To be honest,
right? But he rolled out his Emmerdale Farm Girlfriend, and here's the thing: I offered my hand to him right at the start, and he was just very arrogant, and I thought, "Fuck you!" Now Kim Marsh, completely different. Again, northern girl, working class girl, no airs and graces, and me and her got along fine. And Ben, you know, and the guys from Four Story, and the two girls who were on the soap opera up in Scotland, City Chicks, they were amazing. In fact, my family mixed with their family at that show, Scottish family. So it was really, so it got off to a very, very, very start. But then, you know, I was doing like Jamie Theakston shows and all that. And I had a go about, you know, we're going to see Anthony on the farm next year. Remember that program, The Farm, wanking off a pig? Yes. And, you know, I was sort of, right, it's interesting that, you know, he did actually end up going to Eurovision. The thing is, right, I didn't go there and go, right, oh, I'm not going to get on with him. He started it. Now, if you're going to bring it to the party, I'm not just going to roll over. I thought he was just a little bit arrogant. And he thought he was going to walk up. He sort of looked down at everyone, and he thought he was going to win. And unfortunately, do you know what? I actually liked his song as well.
Yeah.
But he didn't win. I did. End of story.
Have you bumped into him many times since?
Not really. Here's the thing, right? Isn't it funny how at the end of the show you go up into you can imagine what it's like at the BBC. The champagne's flowing. It's, you know, and everyone's congratulating. And there was one person that didn't and left very quickly. Isn't that interesting?
Oh, dear.
Well, there's no prize for guessing who it is.
No.
Exactly. Now, if I'd have got steamrolled there, I still would have been. But, you know, honestly, don't believe the false smiles and my favourite colour's blue and let's appear on Anthem Deck, you know, giving someone in a hospital a teddy bear, because it's all fucking scripted and they really couldn't give a shit.
2006 it was, and the grand contest, Eurovision contest was in Athens. So tell us about what happened. You know,
what was the whole experience like?
Yeah,
is it like you see on the telly or?
Okay, if you can imagine being Elton John or David Beckham, that is what it is like for 2 weeks. That is what it is like.
Wow.
Now, I always wanted to be a footballer, right? And I started my sort of life after school as a footballer, but got injured, so that dream was taken away from me. But then I discovered acid house and dance music, and then club days and football. Being a footballer just doesn't mix. It just doesn't mix. So it was the musical equivalent of playing for England in the World Cup. That's what it was like.
Wow.
I mean, I just look, okay. So I'd had a few hits, right? Minor hits or whatever, no decent hits before Eurovision, all right? But never did I have the News of the World, the Sunday People, the Sunday camping outside my house. Never. But I did as soon as I won Making Your Mind Up, because they knew there was a story, or they were looking for a story. I'd get messages from people I hadn't spoke to for 20 years. And I'm thinking, how the fucking hell do they find these people?
Yeah.
You know, hey, Daz, I've had the newspaper on, you know, saying, have I got any pictures of me and you when we went out and stuff? I'm like, fucking hell. You know, I mean, they're just desperate.
That must make you feel very uncomfortable, though.
Yeah, definitely. But here's the thing, right? I realised very early on what they were after, right? So what they were following, what I didn't want to do, because I had a very young baby at the time, and my missus at the time, you know, she was completely the opposite end of the celebrity go, where, you know, not interested at all. So when they were like, people on motorbikes and stuff, following her to school and that, it gets a bit, I know you might think, well, why are you nobody? Yeah, but it doesn't matter. They're looking for a story. It didn't listen.
Yeah.
It's not like it's Beckham where that happens every single fucking day now. It happened to me for about a 2 or 3 or 4 week period. That was it. It didn't happen for long. But eventually it got so bad that these faces that I'd recognise all the time, I'd just invite them in and go, look, what shot do you want? Come in, have a cup of tea. And just was normal with them. And as soon as you give them the shot, they left you alone because they get paid for the shot. Guys, any chance of a shot, coming out of a news agent and you pull your shorts down and pull a Mooney or something? Yeah, no problem. Bang, give it them, and then they go.
Yeah.
Play the game. It's like the biggest person who plays the game is that Katie Price. She plays the game. Trust me. She plays the game. She harps on about, the tabloids. But her publicist is ringing the tabloids, telling them where the fuck she's going to be.
Yeah, of course.
Let's get it. And this is what people don't understand. All these celebrities, the privacy. Trust me. They love it. They love it.
The green room in Eurovision always fascinates me because you've got all these kind of painted on smiles, all these cheesy smiles. You go around, all the different countries. What really was it like being in the green room amongst all the other lot?
Okay. I don't know if I urge someone to go and look at my documentary, which is the recent one we did last year, which is Does Samson How It Happened. It's on YouTube. There's a clip that you might have seen it. You see, there's a clip there when I'm talking, and it goes backstage to the green room, and you can see that how it's a terrible. You think about it, right? There was a time when we were on the left. We were in 8th place at one stage, believe it or not, on the scoring. We were in 8th place, and then it started down. It's interesting enough, the amount of 11s. We came 11th on, I think, about 12 of the votes. So we were like so close to getting points. We came like, but anyway. It's horrendous when you've got a group of young people around you and you've got the nation watching you, and on the next table people are jumping up and down and throwing the knickers in the air and because they got 12 points, and rightly so. And here's what they do: they're right sneaky bastards. So just before they do the 12 points, the camera comes up to the next table next to you, and you think, right, they're going to come to you for the 12, and then they do a full 360 and go to a table so they don't give it away where the 12 points is going. And so we'd have the camera come on the next table to us loads of times, thinking we're going to get, and then it just struggled. Yeah, it was. But you know what? The right winners won on mine. You see, a lot of people think that I knew we weren't going to win Eurovision. Fucking hell! But what do you want me to do before we go? I was doing all the TV, going, oh yeah, we're going to get fucking battered. No, you've got to, and a lot of people said he's an arrogant twat. It's not.
Did you feel under a lot of pressure?
Yeah, I mean, I've never forgot lyrics in my life of 20 years of performing, but I forgot my lyrics on the night of Eurovision, and not a lot of people know that. Again, watch the documentary, How It Happened. Don't watch the first documentary because I'm acting in it, because the guys from the BBC said, we need a bit of character there. So I'm doing a lot of acting in the first documentary.
Yeah.
But in the second documentary, which we filmed about 2 years ago, which is called Does Samson How It Happened, that's me. That's the real, because we produced it. So I didn't have some guy telling me, do this, do that. Oh, this would look better if you were a bit controversial, if you called this guy. It was just real. Yeah. So basically the green room, it's difficult. I think it's exactly how you think it is in your mind. You've got a little preconception what it's like. It's exactly what it's like. Yeah. But there's so much hedonism, and there's so much. It's a cocoon. It is a bubble. It is a bubble that I cannot describe until you're in it. And then what happens is, on the Sunday after, if you don't do well, someone comes and goes and puts a pin in that bubble, and you go back to reality. And that is the biggest shock you can have. The biggest shock, because you go from boom, 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 to nothing instantly.
So it does. Now, obviously, it was back in 2006 when you entered with Teenage Life for the UK, but started off in 2019 and obviously this year, 2021. You were trying to enter via Belarus, weren't you? For a couple of tracks. Tell us a bit more about that.
So again, the Kinky Boots song from 2019. Okay, again, I got a call off an agent. Look, so let me just move on. I've unfinished business with Eurovision, right? Whether it's a writer or a producer or whatever, or an artist. Obviously, my birth certificate's getting a little bit longer now, so as an artist, it's dwindling away. You know, the creams can only do so much. You know, so I've always. It's not that I feel duped, because there's nothing else we could have done, and we did a great performance on the night. I mean, even Wogan, you know, listen to the Wogan commentary. Big applause for them here, and everyone had us in the top 10 that night.
It was cracking.
Yeah, we really did nail it, and that's the best we ever did it. Remember, those girls ain't professional performers. I plucked them off like an amateur dance school. They've never sung on a record in their life.
Wow.
You know, so you know, they were amazing. Anyway, so but obviously, because of my personal life and the darkness that I went through after Eurovision, and the fact that it completely annihilated my career and my soul, if you like, I got a call off an agent saying, "Are you still interested in doing that Eurovision thing?" And I went, "Not for the UK," because not a lot of people know is I've had several conversations with the BBC over the years, and was very close to going back into a Making Your Mind Up formula in 2008 and again in 2010. Very, very close. Very, very close. In fact, I did a record with Carol Decker in 2008 from T'Pau.
T'Pau, yeah.
Oh.
Which I was going to submit in 2008. But again, because I'm used to being cheesy, it probably wouldn't have got, because it was quite a cool sort of rap.
Yeah.
With a nice big chorus on it, with her singing the chorus. Anyway, so I get the call. Do you want to go to back into Eurovision? I'm thinking, yeah. Where? And he went, Belarus. I went, okay, this is interesting. As soon as he said Belarus, I thought 90s. Go for a 90s sort of retro thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Before I even thought, because when, like, you know, when you talk to people like now on the phone, you're getting preconceived sort of thoughts, and I'm telling you some stories. So when he said Belarus, I went 90s. And I remembered I'd written Kinky Boots for Nona about 2 or 3 years before that. Because, you know, I've worked with Nona for a number of times. She does a lot of the United Nations stuff for us. So, but I just put it on a shelf because, you know, it's like, I'm seriously, there was a time when I was doing 2 or 3 songs a day for a 3 or 4 year period. So imagine the type of song I've got that I never get finished. So here's the thing. Slight problem, Daz. What? It's in 5 days, and she's never even heard the song, and she doesn't even live in England. So here's me though. Again, a little bit arrogant, I guess. You know, well, a little bit sort of blasé, thinking, well, it's Belarus because of my Eurovision pedigree. I've got a chance. So I ring her up. Do you want to go? Yes, she said. I said, right. Problem is 5 days. So we booked the flights. We're not going to get together because she's up in the north, Scotland somewhere, and I'm down in Manchester. So we sort of like liaise over the phone. She sings it. We do so we go. We land in Belarus at, I think it's 10 o'clock in the morning, and at 1 o'clock in the afternoon we do that performance. And you know what? You can fucking tell. End of story. Now here's the thing, right? You've got eyes and you've got ears, so you're not going to offend me because I've been in the business for a long time. Right? See what I'm saying? Now, you listen to the studio version of that song and you go, you know what? That is a catchy number that, if it was staged right and if it was delivered right, would have been a great thing. See, the thing with Eurovision, and even the girl who went on to win it for Belarus, right? It's a massive stage, and it's no place for amateurs or people that are underprepared. You get found out, and we got found out on that audition, and it was the biggest kick in the arse that I ever had. One good thing that came from the whole Belarus experience was Katia, who I did this year's song with. Because when I was in Belarus, I heard her on the radio. She was like the Belarusian Zoe Ball, and she was on the radio, and I was listening to her voice, and I'm thinking, well, either I'm going to make a song with her or I'm going to end up impregnating her. One of the two. And both of them are going to happen, Claire. Both of them are going to happen. There's an exclusive for you. But no, I was going to say on a serious note, but I am fucking serious. So basically, and I got when I got back home to England, I got in contact with her and sent her an email, and it took her 3 months to get back to me. And we started talking, and I'd written a song for her, And obviously the 2020 then came and we couldn't go in because the international went.
Yeah.
And I was tempted to give her the song and let her go on her own with it. But she said, no, let's just wait. But then I get bored very quickly. And so I wrote another song because I like it to keep it fresh. So Give Me Love, I actually wrote purposely. And again, I sat down, I picked up the guitar and I didn't think, right, I'm going to write a Eurovision song. I just started going, na, 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 and it just came. I got that bit first. And there it is. And unfortunately, again, because I've had conversations with the Belarusian broadcaster, there's a lot of politics going on there this year, which is why they're not there. And I'm going to tell you right now, I've already written next year's submission. Me and Katia will be submitting again next year.
Brilliant.
That's exciting. This is exciting.
Yeah.
This is, yeah.
So in your opinion then, what makes the perfect winning Eurovision single then?
Right. Okay. 3 minutes of Wham Bam Thank You Ma'am. Now listen to me very carefully on that. Wham Bam Thank You Ma'am doesn't necessarily mean it has to be punch in the air, because ballads can do it. But you have to have that ingredient. And you know what? You've got to have some spunk. You know, we've got to have some spunk. It's like Moldova now. Moldova, they roll out that Russian geezer to take all the photographs with her. It's fucking absolute toilet. Absolute toilet, that is. They're doing it falsely. So you can't fake it.
Now hear this.
What did you learn at school today? That's what the teachers used to say. But they don't understand, do they? Why do they always give advice? Saying just be nice, always think twice. When it's been a long time since they had a teacher. What did you learn at school today? That's what the teachers used to say. But they don't understand, do they? Why do they always give advice? Saying just be nice, always think twice. When it's been a long time since they had a teacher.
Dwelling on the past from back when I was young, thinking of my school days and trying to write this song. Classroom schemes and dreams, man, they couldn't save me, cause my days were numbered when I signed down on AV. Teenage kids running out, what could we do? I still show respect to my boys who made it through, and getting told off Mr. T how my life would be. They're giving him a signal so everyone could see. Sunshine and shade, those girls I'd serenade, thinking of those sixth form chicks that misbehave, hoping that those days would go on and on forever. Every day something new, just friends running together. And suddenly school ends, your teenage life's gone. All your mates are growing up now, they're moving on. And now I'm looking back, I'll tell you what I know. Do you listen to your teacher? No, I don't think so.
What did you learn at school today? That's what the teachers used to say. But they don't understand, do they? Why do they always give advice? Saying just be nice, always think twice. When it's been a long time since they had a teacher.
Now if you give the kids a time, together they will shine. Yeah, yeah. We all will shine. Hear me now. And if you treat the kids fine, they won't do the crime. No, no.
I'll do the crime.
Now my bad old ways, but you're in my school days. Messing with those grade A's, my life is just a haze. I'm going through the struggle, 5'10" and kicking back, so I could lock the flow, lace it up now on the track. Oh yeah, I felt the pain, whilst chasing all the fame. I'm being told I'm nothing, just a player in the game. But now I walk tall, stand proud for you to see. I'm driving these fast cars, it's 5 stars for me.
Did you learn at school today?
Just take your turn,
That's
you
what
gotta
the teachers used to say. But they don't understand, do they? Why do they always give advice? Saying just be nice, always think twice. When it's been a long time since they had a teenage life. When it's been a long time since they had a teenage life.
Thank you so much to Daz Samson. What a great shout that was.
Yeah, it was brilliant.
What a character.
Yeah, he is a character.
Great bloke, but character.
I like a good character.
And a great song as well.
Yes.
But now we have something very special for you again. We're going to speak to our old friend, Andrew Turrett, the world. I'm going to call him the world's. Let's big him up here. It's big big the bloke up.
A legend.
The world's premier celebrity interviewer and sports commentator. And actually, this particular occasion, he is our roving reporter over in Rotterdam. Hello, Andrew. Why, thank you, Claire and Chris. This is Andrew Turret live from Rotterdam in the Netherlands, or Holland, so to speak. I am the roving reporter for the Claire and Chris Talk podcast. I am stationed now at the Rotterdam Ahoy. It's an arena with a capacity of almost 17,000. It is the venue for this year's 2021 Eurovision Song Contest. It has hosted such events in the past as indoor athletics, ice hockey, judo, table tennis, and in 2009 an evening with Tim Henman, which I actually presented and talked to the great man about his life and career. There was a cold buffet involved, serving such stuff as vol au vents, sausage rolls, cocktail sausages, and cheese and pickled onion on sticks. This Saturday is the big night. I will be covering it for Clare and Chris Talk podcast and also providing cover for Graham Norton. If he should need a toilet break or anything like that, I will be on BBC. I'm back up to the great man himself. Excuse me? What? Yes, I'm allowed to be here. Of course I am, yes. Press pass? But it's in the hotel. I'm at a 5-star hotel in one of the most exclusive hotels in Rotterdam. It's in the safe. What do you mean I can't be here? I'm with the BBC. I'm with Clare and Chris Talk podcast. Get off me! Get off! Grappling me! I've just had an operation on my spine! Let go of me, you oaf! Bloody hell! You bastards! Bastards, I tell you! Oh, they're taking me away! Alexa, who is Scooch?
According to Wikipedia, Scooch is a British bubblegum dance group, comprising performers Natalie Powers, Caroline Barnes, David Ducasse, and Russ Spencer. Scooch represented the United Kingdom in the Eurovision Song Contest 2007 in Helsinki with their song Flying the Flag, finishing joint 22nd out of 24 entries after receiving 19 points in the final.
Yes, thank you again, Alexa, and thank you to Andrew Turret.
Yeah, he's back.
And, I don't know for how long, after what's happened to him. I hope he's okay. He's always getting himself into a few problems, few incidents, and
he does attract
sticky situations.
Yeah, he does attract trouble.
I think I may have to give a call to the police over in Rotterdam. Might need to pay some bail or something like that. I hope they treat
him well.
He's not beaten up in a cell or something. So Scooch, yes, the wonderful, magnificent Scooch, and we are honoured to be joined by a member of Scooch now.
Oh, we are.
David Ducasse.
Yes.
David, how are you?
I'm good. Thank you very, very much. It's great to be here and be involved in your podcast. It's very exciting.
Thank you very much yourself for being part of it. Now, I want to know, how did, with Scooch, how did it happen representing UK at the Eurovision Song Contest? How did it all start?
You know what? I still ask myself that question 14 years later. Like, how did it happen? But the answer is, Russ, the other guy in the band, he had been in the audience for the UK selection programme in 2006. He was friends with one of the acts that were competing. And there was a guy called Dominic who was kind of head of BBC Entertainment at that time, who we had worked with back in the 90s. On, I don't know whether you remember, a TV programme called Liquid News, but he was involved in that show. And the big things about Scooch is we're really nice people. And I know probably everyone says that, but we're very real. We haven't got our heads in the air or any delusions of grandeur. We're just real people. So we made a lot of good friends in the 90s. So Dominic remembered us. He was actually the tea boy, which is so funny. And I made him a cup of tea. And he always says, I'll never forget you because you're the only guest who ever made me a cup of tea. Anyhow, so here he is, years and years later, and he's head of BBC Entertainment. So Russ went up and just had a chat, and Dominic remembered Russ in the band, and Russ was just a bit of a hustler, and he just said, you know, how would you submit a song for Eurovision? And they kept the communication going. That particular year in 2007, they changed the format of the Your Country Needs You, or the Making Your Mind Up show, whatever they call it that year. And they knew that they wanted to kind of have a lineup of stars from the 90s. So when you think back to our selection show, you had people like Liz from Atomic Kitten, you had Brian Harvey from E17, Justin Hawkins from The Darkness, so Big Brothers. So that was the kind of the format of it.
Okay.
And Russ just said, you know, can we get involved? And Dominic had said, have you got any songs that you can send us? We had one song, which we never did anything with, from the 90s. So we sent it to Dominic, and these are his words, which I'm quoting here. He just said, it's too good. Have you got anything else? So Russ, who was a complete hustler, just said yes. And he wrote, like, really, really super quick, the chorus of Flying the Flag, which kind of existed because he was doing a bit of work with another friend of the band's on an animation cartoon, which was all about aeroplanes.
Okay.
So he sent Dominic this like 30 seconds hustled job, and then Dominic said, oh, that's brilliant, can I hear the rest? And that's when kind of the shit hit the fan, because Russ got in touch with us and said, listen, I've put us in a position where we could be in with a chance of representing the UK here. One, are you okay to do it? And secondly, if you are, I need you all to come to London this weekend, and we'll write the song so that by the time you get here, we'll record it and send this to the BBC by Monday. This is on Friday. So literally, I was on a train getting, I think it was like, was it sound notes or something? I was getting weird things. I mean, it would just do a WhatsApp audio note now, but getting sent this tune that Natalie was recording while I was on the train down south.
Wow.
Went in, recorded it, was given a list of, I think it was like the EasyJet in-flight announcements, like 40 different things that they say. And I just said, David, can you just say all of those? Went in and recorded what wasn't a full song, and then they pieced it together and it became Flying the Flag. So it was all very rushed. I do remember like kind of in the middle of 2006, Russ saying that he'd met Dominic and saying to us, we kind of meet up socially for FaceTimes and that kind of thing, because we all live in different parts of the country, but we're still really great friends. And he said, you know, if we were good, if this was a goal, would you all be up for it? And I think we were all drunk and said, yeah. And then it was Valentine's Day, 2007. He rang us up and said, we're in. We're going to be in the selection show, and literally that was it. It was 4 months of absolute madness. You know, when you just have to put your life on hold and drop everything. So that was kind of how we got involved. We didn't expect the British public to choose us, but I've got a lot to thank them for, because you know it was nice to get back together under the Scooch umbrella and make a mark with what we did, because we, all the way around in the 90s, we got dropped from our label, so it was quite a bittersweet ending. But then we picked the project up and got a great finale, which, you know, here we are 14 years later, and I'm being asked questions because of that opportunity. So it's got a very precious place in my heart.
What a song, though! It was such an anthem. I'm presuming that you loved it the first time you kind of heard it.
Again, it was different. It was different than the Scooch music that we'd done in the past. You know, our original catalogue was really written by Mike Stock and Matt Aiken, who were massive producers when I was a kid. So it was very novelty. It was very camp and
perfect for Eurovision.
Yeah, we hadn't been that sort of act, but we knew that in being involved in the show, we were taking that kind of comedy, tongue-in-cheek aspect. You know, you had the power ballad, you had the kind of summer pop anthem, you had Justin Hawkins doing great kind of pop rock. So for the British public to get behind the novelty song, for want of a better description, it was really something else. And I do love it. I do love it because, again, it was a bit of a departure. I think coming off the back of that, it would always be hard placed to think, where do Scooch go next? Because I think people have us in two places in their minds. You've got our brilliant LGBT fans who remember More Than I Needed to Know and, the original Scooch stuff. And then just embrace flying the flag as, an LGBT anthem, almost flying the flag for, whatever you want to fly the flag for today kind of thing. But then you've got the diehard Euro fans, and then you've just got the people who love a good party and right, a bit of Scooch, that kind of thing. So it put us on different shelves, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, you appeal to everybody, I think.
Yeah. And it's funny because we were talking about this the other day again, as I say, we kind of meet up semi-regularly. Lately, it's been on Zoom. But this time of the year is always busy for us, so we always have a little catch up and, see what we're going to do together, what we can do. But it's so funny that it's probably, since Katrina and the Waves, well, it is the biggest selling UK Eurovision song since Katrina and the Waves. No other single since then has sold as many copies. But it's almost like it's a super Eurovision song, which again, it's hard to get your head around for 14 years later that, there we are on the now greatest Eurovision hits. We're still there. And it's like, how did that happen?
Yeah, but you must be so proud.
I am. And it's a song that kind of people, it just makes people smile.
Yes, it does.
I mean, it makes me cringe if I'm out with my mum because she still has it as a ringtone. So in Sainsbury's, it's a little bit embarrassing because everyone just looks. So I keep saying, Mum, I need to change that ringtone on your phone. But it does. It makes people smile, and it's got, as I say, it's got a very special place in my heart. But definitely, the four of us together, it still makes us chuckle, and we never get sick of performing it ever.
So going back to the Making Your Mind Up show that you actually won, now it's very memorable, maybe for not the right reasons, because it was Terry Wogan and Fern Cotton who presented it, wasn't it? But it was when Cindy was announced and yourself at kind of the same time, Wogan said Cindy was the winner, and there was a confusion who'd actually won. I remember it was all over the place, wasn't it? And what did that feel like? Did you know you'd won at the time, or were you confused yourself?
No, we didn't. We genuinely heard that Cindy had won. So it was that point where, you accept that it's a competition and someone's got to win, and it just wasn't our time. But then I think it's the confusion behind actually, no, it's you. It was. I'm glad we won. Ha ha, Cindy. Tough tits, missus. But no, it was just surreal, and I love that clip. I love watching that clip back, and every one of our reactions is so different. Caroline's face, she suddenly develops like 3 chins. I was saying to you before, I tend to swear, but I actually mouthed the swear word. And I remember watching it back thinking, oh God, I hope the kids that I teach didn't read my lips. I was like, oh. And then I love the fact when it gets shown on TV because there's £12 every time. So I'm like, yes, show it again.
Brilliant.
Please show it again. Can we watch it again? So yeah, it's got its perks. I think we're the only act to have won and lost at the same time.
Yeah.
Thanks, Terry. That
was a legend, though, wasn't he, old Terry Wogan?
He was. And he's got very big ears. I remember seeing him in flesh. I couldn't stop looking at his ears, thinking, how on earth are they real? They were huge. Biggest ears ever. Terry Wogan.
Yeah, that's the sort of thing I'd notice that.
Would you?
Somebody's ears. Yeah.
You more now. Me, I'll probably more like to look at the hair.
Yeah.
You'd probably more look behind.
Yeah, look
into it a bit further.
His hair's immaculate. On that night, I remember looking at Terry Wogan's. I did look at his hair because I often thought, was it a toupee? So I looked at his hair, looked at his lugs. Couldn't take my eyes off Fern Cotton's boobs. I might be gay, but I love boobs. So look at the Fern Cottons, and then again, I remember just keep my eye out for John Barrowman. I was like, where's he? But that's a different story.
Of course, John Barrowman was loving it, wasn't he? I remember. I think he was stood on the little desk in front, wasn't he? I think he was going, "What?" I remember going wild for it. He was well on your side.
He's such a good sport, and my path, I've crossed paths with John Barrowman a few times in different careers over the years. So to see him there, and he was always my kind of little crush when I was a kid. I was a big musical theatre fan. Yeah. So I remember the first time I saw him, I was actually doing work experience in London at Drury Lane or Miss Saigon. This is bizarre. And he was in rehearsals for Sunset Boulevard, and as one of my roles, I got to serve him and Betty Buckley champagne in the interval, and that's when I kind of fell in love with John Barrowman. But I tried everything. I was in a relationship at the time. But I sent him a big purple one and said, "Here's something to suck on from me," hoping that I would reply. He never did. He never did. I'm not so sure on the white hair. I think
he's a bit of,
but I'm not.
Silver fox.
Yeah, right. I'm not. I'm not a fan.
No, it's just not the same, is it?
No.
Schofield.
Yes. I agree. Definitely.
You know what I mean, don't you, Claire? You've got.
I do know what you mean. Yes.
It's kind of come very kind
all
of
immediate. Sudden,
It's like he's been struck by lightning.
Yeah. Well, that's what happens when you don't see somebody for a year.
Well, I suppose so. Actually, yeah.
I mean, I've got white bits all over, not all over the place. I retract that.
Join the club, mate.
I've ever had, yeah. And it's like I need to get out that beard dye.
Yeah.
Because when you wear a mask, no one really sees. But now we've got to reveal ourselves again. You've got to.
That's right, isn't it?
I know.
I was like, I better start looking young again rather than this
risky
person who's been locked away working at home for the past.
So, David, we've talked about how you qualified for Eurovision. Yeah. Tell us about what it felt like, travelling to the final and being part of it, like the green room and the experience of actually performing on stage. What did it feel like to you? Your personal experience?
Yeah. Do you know, for me, Eurovision, I've been asked this question before, and I always compare it to what I imagine Madonna must feel every single waking day of her career, because when we touched down in Helsinki in Finland, we got off the plane and everybody knew who we were. And it's not about, do you know who we are? But as a band, we hadn't experienced that before. And then you see your face on a postage stamp and you've got a banner of you on a lamppost and posters around. Like, it's just a different layer of that's it. Just people know who you are, and then everywhere you go, it's I know we don't do very well in the competition, but we're so well respected, and it was just something else. It was like what I imagine an A-list star must be like all the time. Yeah. I think the difference is we probably couldn't believe that we were on a stamp, whereas other people might be a bit more just the one stamp, is it not a collection? But it was it was like nothing else. And the competition, it was so rehearsed. Like that. I did an interview recently where there was like a whole group of UK and Irish acts, and I have never ever met or done an interview with Gemma from Gemini.
Of course,
the boy girl duo.
Had
the worst experience. God bless them. And up until that point, I remember if I was asked, I would always say, I don't understand how that could happen. Like because your rehearsals are so thorough, like to the point by the time the competition, you just want to get it done because you've done it to death. It's so meticulous. But when I hear her talk about her experience and what genuinely did go wrong, like my heart broke. It took a lot of confidence from her, whereas that was not our experience. It was like something else. And the green room afterwards, again, it was probably everybody was experiencing something different. I think in the band, I was the only one who I entered the competition to win. And I genuinely believed that, I would go into the competition with the view that we will win this competition. Otherwise, I would never have gone, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, sure.
Caroline and Russ are there, just getting drunk, enjoying the campaign. And Natalie's like trying to do the maths and calculate the scores and all that kind of thing. So for me, it was very intense. But I was a bit broken, I think, at that time, because as you see your points creeping further and further away. Yeah. I didn't feel as if I'd failed, but as I say, I'm the sort of person. I didn't enter that competition to come last, and I'm so glad we didn't. We came second to last. So
did you feel any pressure? that you had to do well? Was there any pressure actually there?
Do you know that there was no pressure? The thing that I remember feeling was a little bit of frustration that we didn't do more. And what I mean by that is, I remember very early on when we were kind of talking about the promotional side of the competition. You know, as I said, you kind of give up your life for a number of months to promote the competition, to promote the song, and to do interviews, press, all that kind of thing. And that was very much of the viewpoint where I wanted to get on an airplane and go and visit other countries, to do press in their countries, to try to build alliance. And I think actually they've made the effort, you know what I mean, rather than just the British act, they're too good to even entertain us, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And that just wasn't possible, you know, in terms of budget. Caroline, God bless her, she was touring in The Producers, the musical, with Peter Kay. So again, she had to hold down that full-time, you know, theatre role and honour her commitments. So it just wasn't possible. So I wouldn't change anything, but if I could go back and do it again, I would probably insist that we just did a bit more promotion.
Yeah,
because it paid off. There were acts after us who did do that, and you can see that it definitely made a difference.
I thought that when you scooch like it, one making your mind up, I thought this is a good chance.
Yeah, definitely
a good chance to win. I think it's got everything Eurovision all about it. It's fun.
It's perfect Eurovision song for me.
It's tongue in cheek, and the tune's really catchy. And I thought this is a good chance for us to get right high up the board. And I couldn't believe it when you're so low down. I just didn't understand it. Do you think the politics played a part in it? Because it does seem to have that effect nowadays.
To be honest, the rationale within my head thinks, why wouldn't it? Like, I always think, if we were three really great friends, and you know, I had to pick someone, would I pick somebody who I've just met or somebody who I don't really have an affiliation with over a friend, even if I didn't think my friend was the best at say, a football match? Would I still have Chris on my team? Of course I would. He's my friend. You get what I mean? So I think there's always going to be that element. But then the other side of the coin, when I look at you know, Lordi, the act who won in 2006, the Monster Band.
Yes, yeah.
Like, look at that as a piece of music. Would you ever imagine that a heavy metal song would win the Eurovision Song Contest? Not Cat and Hell's Chance. But they did. And I think, again, you can go back through and analyse that. It's a fascinating subject. And I think also the way that the votes have changed, or the way that has developed over the years, also you can see that everything plays a part. I think they're still finding their feet with it. I think from a political point of view, it's interesting with, you know, we didn't really stand a Cat and Hell's Chance. Our vote tally changed from Tony Blair. And that's not me being political. That's just when you analyse it. But I think at the end of the day, it's a great song, but it's opinionated as well. What you love, I might hate, and I think that's why the votes have started to change. You've got the telly votes, of course, but then you've also got the panel.
Yes,
the biggest difference, whenever you analyse the vote, always comes from the panel. It's what that particular country's panel chuck into the mix that affects. You know, somebody can suddenly be 10th, and then, you know, as if pushing a button, they're suddenly in the 5th spot. So that's the biggest win for the votes. So there's got to be something behind it.
So do you think the UK can ever win again? Because I have my doubts.
Yeah, I know I do.
You know what? How would we know? I think if we could somehow get our biggest, most celebrated, most successful international star. If you thought of like Elton John, let's think of someone like on a different level. If Elton John entered Eurovision, wouldn't it be interesting to see? I mean, he never would, but wouldn't it be interesting to see if it was actually about the song, the writer? You'd have to put it to the test. So again, it's an interesting debate. I'd say I don't have an answer. I would just the kind of the curiosity in me thinks I would love to put it to the test.
They kind of half-heartedly, now I'm not going to compare Blue with Elton John, but they kind of half-heartedly tried it with Blue, didn't they, one year? And that didn't work either, did it?
And we had Andrew Lloyd Webber.
Andrew Lloyd Webber, Jade Ewan, yes.
Jade Ewan, yeah.
Yeah. And Bonnie Tyler, like when you look at some of
yes,
of course.
I mean, they have tried to send some known people, but again, I think with the likes of Bonnie Tyler, for example, it was a really dodgy song. Like Bonnie Tyler's better than that song. Like, why did they give her that song, kind of thing? So again, I don't know. You know what I would love to do? It would be really interesting, I think. And again, I don't know whether should I say this? But yeah, I will. Well, I've got to lose.
Go on.
Okay.
Like, we've talked as a band. Wouldn't it be interesting to see if we could enter for a totally different country?
Oh yes.
And see what would happen?
Yeah, would it be? You should.
I mean, we've got nothing to lose, just like
exactly.
But if we could get an in, and let's say next year we enter for Australia.
Yes.
Wouldn't that be interesting?
Oh yes, it definitely would, and I think we should.
Thanks. Should we start a petition? Come on.
Yeah, let's start a petition.
Let's do it.
But I think that would be fascinating, because people have done that, and often
they have.
It's either gone terribly well or it's just been a bit of a car crash. But again, that's always about the song, I think, rather than the person.
Yeah, because we've had Gina G represented us many years ago.
Yeah.
She was Australian. Obviously, Katrina in the Waves was all Canadian as well.
That's the other thing. I think, like a song, you've got to be able to pull it off live. I mean, Natalie would be the first person to say, Natalie, who's our lead singer, would be the first person to say that, she was really not disappointed, but she knows that she could have sang our song better. But
really?
The hard thing about that environment is you're in a big arena. So when you give an arena performance in comparison to something that's going to be televised, it's so easy to oversing. Right. And Natalie would be the first person to say, I just oversang that bit and I could have just controlled that bit. But again, that's the perfectionist in being a performer.
Yeah.
But I'm proud of Eurovision, and I'm so thankful to have had that kind of little moment in history that will always be ours. And as I say, it's lovely that sort of 14 years later, it doesn't look like we'll be forgotten very easily, which is really nice part. It's very indulgent as a performer, but isn't it? But you want something to be remembered, and if I'm remembered for asking if you want something to suck on for Landon, there you go. It did the job. It did the job.
This is your captain speaking. I'd like to welcome you aboard this Eurovision flight. The duration will be 3 minutes exactly. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy the flight. Duty-free man.
London to Berlin, all the way
Thank you so much, Dave, for speaking to us. What a lovely chap.
Oh, he was great, wasn't he? Really enjoyed that.
Great fun, lovely bloke. Now, if you want to follow David or Scooch...
which, of course, people will want to.
Probably will anyway.
Come
but
on.
If you don't, over on Insta and Twitter, search for Scooch Official, and Twitter for David himself, it's David Ducasse, and on Instagram, it's official David Ducasse.
Ah.
Now, Claire, I want to talk about your favourite songs ever from Eurovision.
Well, I think we've already touched on the fact about ABBA. We've already mentioned that, haven't we?
Waterloo.
But I think as the UK songs go, I've got a funny choice, actually.
Oh, go on then.
One of my favourites was actually Gina G.
Oh,
you know, ooh, just a little bit, ooh, a little bit more.
Ooh, ooh.
Yeah.
I did that bit for effect.
I know she was Australian.
Yeah.
And that was a bit controversial.
Good, I stand the bloody crowd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was so funky, and she looked so cool in the outfit that she wore. And I was of an age at that time.
An impressionable age.
Yeah, I just thought she was great. And it was a hit in our charts as well.
Yes.
And I just loved it. And even when I hear it now, that do 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 do, there's something about it. I just get all excited.
It was cheesy in Eurovision.
Incredibly so.
Yeah, it had Eurovision feel to it. It had that cheese about it.
Yeah.
But, yeah, that's your favourite. It's not my favourite.
Well, let's hear yours then.
Like you say, non-UK, it's got to be Waterloo and ABBA, because ABBA are just gods, aren't they, really?
Of course.
They're just gods. They're just, like, amazing.
Yes.
But
everyone loves a bit of ABBA.
The UK, you can't look past... You can't look past Bucks Fizz.
Of course not, no.
Making your mind up.
Yeah.
And when you think of Eurovision, UK Eurovision, your first thought is Bucks Fizz.
That do 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 do. You'll have to help me out a bit with that. And the skirts.
The skirt. Now, I think the skirts. This was in the early 80s, and I was very young.
Oh, you're admitting you're alive now.
I've already given away my age, so I have to admit. Okay. I have to admit now. But when they've ripped the skirts off, I don't think this will be allowed nowadays, do you?
Making your mind up.
No, I don't think with all this politically correct and stuff like that, ripping the skirts off. Can you imagine it now, you know?
Harmless fun, but you're probably right.
The skirts off and a bit of bush was shown, you know. Oh, my God. Can you imagine it? The horror, the controversy. Yeah, Claire's losing it now. But it was dangerous. Can you imagine if it had gripped too hard?
Yeah, but it didn't.
No, but can you imagine, you know, these really rippable skirts? It's a bit like, it's got a magician's trick.
He needs a warning on him, he does.
A warning?
Yeah.
What do you mean, a warning?
Because you're unpredictable.
But one of my favourite songs, Bucks Fizz, taking away all that business.
So is that your favourite then?
I would say it was the most memorable and favourite. I would say, because it did win. It did win, and
of course, and bloody deserved to as well.
So that is also my earliest memory of Eurovision. I can't remember anybody before Bucks Fizz, but they were superstars at the time. Bucks Fizz. They went massive, and they had big hits after that. Their career. They're still going now. They're touring. Funny enough, down the road, we're from Tamworth, in September, under the name of the Fizz, I think they changed the name. I don't know why. I think it's something to do with because it's not all the main members.
Yeah.
They've got the three main members.
Yeah.
Jay Ashton, Mike Nolan, and Cheryl Baker. Everyone knows Cheryl Baker.
Oh, yeah, I love Cheryl.
I mean, Cheryl was a TV presenter in the 80s as well. She's very down to earth.
Yeah, she's lovely.
Yeah. But they are touring, and they're doing a gig at our local assembly rooms, Tamworth Assembly Rooms.
Oh, should we get tickets?
Maybe we should.
Can we get a babysitter, though?
That's the thing. That's the thing. So, I think it's early September. We'll have a look.
We'll have a look into that.
It could be a cracking night. A few memories there.
Okay.
Bring it all back. from when I was about 5 years old.
So that's your memories.
That's my early. What's your earliest memory?
Well, I've got early memories, but I have one thing from when I was younger that sticks out.
Okay.
And that was the year that Katrina and the Waves won. But I'm really sorry, but it doesn't stick out because that was the year Katrina and the Waves won.
Okay.
It sticks out because that particular year was hosted in Ireland.
Right.
And Ronan Keating co-hosted the show that year, and Boyzone performed at the interval.
Here we go.
And it just sticks up. What do you mean, here we go?
Here we go. Now, Claire is a huge, massive, humongous, gigantic Boyzone fan.
Yes.
And I knew you would have to get a mention of Boyzone in here.
Well, of course.
So, I don't know. You can't, surely you can't do it in every single podcast episode we do, because we're doing all sorts of different ones.
I can link Boyzone to anything.
Well, okay, I'll challenge you. Every single podcast that we do, I want to challenge you to get. It's got to be a link. There's got to be a link there. It can't just be thrown in there for good measure.
No,
it's choking.
I am, because I've taken this on, but you're challenging me.
I'm challenging you to get a link, but it has to be a link. Can't just be a mention. It has to be a link to something we're talking about to Boyzone. Just
challenge
Boyzone.
Accepted.
Challenge Annika.
So if I pass
Challenge Claire.
Then...
Challenge Claire.
Yeah.
You're going to be a helicopter with a jump suit on. Who remembers Challenge Annika?
Well, I'm sure many people do. But anyway, before you really interrupt me, challenge accepted, yes. But I remember that. But that was probably why.
Okay.
So yeah.
So we won that year, didn't we?
We did.
Katrina and the Waves. We mentioned it before.
Yeah.
Mentioned it before. Weren't English, Katrina and the Waves.
No.
Canadian.
No.
Like I've said before.
Right.
Now we spoke to David and Scooch. He would love for Scooch to enter the Eurovision song contest again.
Yeah.
If it was not for the UK, for another country. And I mentioned this before. Now, we have a lot of talent over it. I said this, didn't I?
Right.
I said this, but I've got no qualms. If Scooch want to do it, let's go for it.
Yeah.
You know,
like Das Samson and Belarus.
Belarus,
of course.
Yeah, of course. We have enough talent in this country, but that you'd be torn. Actually, you'd be very torn if Daz or David, as part of Scooch, were to perform for I don't know, some kind of Eastern Europe nation. I won't mention who it is because I don't want to.
But then again, you can't vote for the UK.
Can't you vote for the UK? I know, but you'd be torn.
If it was the same year,
who would you want to win? Now that is a dilemma, isn't it? Let's hope it happens. Let's hope to God it happens.
Well, I'd like to
put that
see
in
it.
there. It would make it.
Yeah, of course, they both deserve another shot.
They both want to do it. We know that both are very passionate about Eurovision.
Yeah, they love Eurovision. Yeah. They're proud of the fact that they represented Eurovision, because some artists are maybe not so proud.
No.
That they have been in Eurovision. So yeah, go for it.
Yeah, we'll support you. We'll support you. Now, this year's entry, 2021, in Rotterdam, as we said before, Rotterdam in Holland, stroke the Netherlands, is James Newman. He's represented with the track Embers.
Yeah.
Now, James is, if you've not heard of him already, he's been in the industry for a long time. He's performed with Rudimental, so many are aware of that.
Yeah.
But he's also a songwriter as well. He's wrote for people like Jess Glynn, Little Mix, Kaiser Chiefs, Ollie Murs, Backstreet Boys as well. So there's big names. So he's not just come out of nowhere.
No.
He's been in the background, but he's coming to the forefront now with Eurovision. And what do you think of the track?
I quite like it. It's fun. It's nothing serious. It's got a good beat to it. And I like it.
I like the trumpets.
Yeah, you said that.
I like the trumpets because it's a dancey track.
Yeah.
It's very upbeat.
Yeah.
It's fun. That's what Eurovision is all about. It has to be fun. I don't like it to be too serious.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the ballads.
No.
That's just me.
No, I think it should be fun. It should be upbeat. It should be fun.
I want a bit of cheese. I want a bit of fun.
It's got a little bit. It's not
horrendously
cheesy. No, it's not. No. It's got that fun. There's a fine line between fun and cheesy.
Yeah.
And but I hopefully it does well. But we have our doubts, don't we? We've said this. We've mentioned this earlier in the podcast. We mentioned it to Daz. We mentioned it to David. And I can't see it happening as winning again. It's not. I'm not being negative, but the way it's gone in the last few years, I just can't. I've not got the feeling. I hope it does well. You'd be happy if you got the top 10. I would be.
I think so. Yeah.
You know when you just hover about and think, 12 points here would put you up like that. But rather than being down the bottom,
it's not nice.
Well, this was Scooter and Daz, didn't we? It was disappointing.
But that was really harsh though, because those songs were so good.
Yeah,
they deserved much better placings overall, and they just didn't get them.
It was nothing to do with the performance. It was nothing to do with the song.
It wasn't.
It's got to be political, isn't it? It's got to be. We say this
every
year.
Now. Because they've changed the way they do it now, haven't they?
I'm going to end up getting shot here.
No, they've changed the way they do the vote now. It comes with all different parts of it.
I don't, if I'm being honest, I don't like it.
It takes away some of the excitement for me.
I don't like it. I like the original version because you start for all those votes and then all of a sudden these votes come in and can change the picture.
Yeah, definitely.
Don't they? And it's like, what's happening? When it first happened a few years ago.
We were a bit confused, weren't we?
What's going on?
No, I know.
Oh my God, what's going on? Jesus Christ, what's happening?
We wish the best of luck to James, and
I'm sure do us proud.
I'm really looking forward to seeing him perform it.
Yep.
And I'm sure he'll put in a cracking performance.
I'll be there. I'll be there.
With my bunting.
I'll be there ducking under the bunting to make sure I don't lose my head.
Yes. I might lower it on purpose.
Bitch.
Wow, you know.
Sometimes I know my fire burns low, but as long as you're with me, I'll never get cold. Day and night, through darkness and light, I never worry when you're by my side. All feelings change and seasons fade, but nothing will burn us out. Nothing can stop us now. Out of the embers, you and I are gonna light up the room. Out of the embers, there's a fire burning for you. There's a fire burning for you. I feel it heating. There's still a chance for us. Down here in the ashes, there's something glowing. Out of the embers, you and I gonna light up the room. Light up the room. Light up the room. You and me, forever we're free. We're cool under pressure, and that's all we need. So take my hand and forget the past. We're in this together, there's no looking back. All feelings change and seasons fade, but nothing will burn us out. Nothing can stop us now. Out of the embers, you and I are gonna light up the room. Out of the embers, there's a fire burning for you. There's a fire burning for you. I feel it heating. There's still a chance for us. Down here in the ashes, there's something glowing. Out of the embers, you and I gonna light up the room. Light up the room. Out of the embers, you and I gonna light up the room. Out of the embers, you and I gonna light up the room. Oh, yeah. Light up the room.
Some salted nuts, sir.
So that's us about done, ain't it, Claire?
Yeah, I think so.
We are looking forward to Saturday so much. The big day.
Yeah, it's going to be great.
Get me glad rags on, eh?
Oh, yeah.
Press me flamboyant jacket, me light blue jacket, wear me straw hat, maybe stick me bow tie for good measure.
Do. And I'll get me bunting up.
Yes, and I'll be careful not to lose my head as well. Thank you so much to Daz and Dave for speaking to us. It was absolutely brilliant, wasn't it? Both of them.
Yes.
Really,
brilliant.
Really lovely, down-to-earth people, and they give us a fascinating insight on what it's all about. From the other side, we know what it's like from our side, but to hear it from
they did.
people who've actually been there and experienced firsthand.
Yeah, it's really interesting.
It was fantastic. Now, if you want to follow us on social media, we're all over it on Twitter and Instagram. We are at Clare Chris Talk, and we also got a Facebook page as well. That's at Clare and Chris Talk. Now, if you also look for us on TikTok, unfortunately you won't find us because, especially me, I'm too old for that shit.
I'll leave that to our kids.
Yeah. So if you follow us on social media, please tweet us with your pictures or how you are celebrating and watching the big night this Saturday. This has been Clare and Chris Talk Eurovision. We will be back very soon with our next episode. Something completely different, won't it?
Yeah, it is, yeah.
And we really do hope you can join us again. You've enjoyed the show as much as we have talking about Eurovision. So thank you. Thank you very much. Good night and God bless.
See you soon. Bye.
Would you like something to suck on for landing, sir?
Clare and Chris Talk